Hey guys, Furum here, and today I am proud to present to you my updated How to Go Fast in Asphalt 9 guide. This video draws from a year's worth of experience of both myself and other Asphalt players. Throughout the video, I will be talking about different nitro types, the different kinds of ramps, how to take turns, and I will also be going over some more advanced techniques, tricks on specific tracks, and showing you an example race of what happens when you put everything together. So let's jump straight into our first topic, which is nitro. I have created this graphic here to show you the different strengths and weaknesses of each sort of nitro. Single nitro lasts the longest but also has the worst acceleration. Perfect nitro has shorter duration but a bit better acceleration and much better turning speed. Double tap nitro has better acceleration but it has worse duration, and generally perfect nitro is better for getting around corners. Then we have shockwave nitro, which has the lowest duration but the best acceleration, and it's generally the best for getting up to speed. Now I will go over each of the kinds of nitro more in depth. One thing you need to keep in mind is at the beginning of any race, never use nitro right away. It's best to wait at least a few seconds and then knock down a couple cars if you can without losing speed. Single nitro is good to use at the beginning for fast accelerating cars, however in any car it can be used to maintain speed throughout straight sections. In cars with very good handling, single nitro can also be used to go around wide curves without losing speed. Now let's move on to perfect nitro. This is achieved by hitting nitro once and then hitting it again when it is in the blue area. Perfect nitro can also be used to knock down cars at the beginning of races, however its two primary uses are to go over rough terrain such as sidewalks without losing speed, and for getting around a lot of turns. Maintaining better speed than with both single and double nitro, and it lasts longer than shockwave. And it can be used to negate some speed loss if you hit a wall. Now our next kind of nitro, double tap nitro, is useful in different situations. Its primary use is to get up to speed quickly when you don't have enough nitro for shockwave. However, one of its other uses is getting through a big pile of cars at the beginning of a race such as this one, without losing as much speed as if you went in with a lower nitro. It can technically be used to go around turns, but I would honestly try to avoid that. There will be more about how to take turns a bit later, but yeah, just generally use this whenever you don't have enough nitro for a shockwave and you need to either get up to speed quickly or go up a ramp. Now for our last kind of nitro, shockwave. Its main purpose is to get up to speed quicker than anything else, and also to give you a much better airspeed when going up ramps. It can only be used at the very beginning of races during slipstream seasons. Its three primary uses are getting up to speed quickly around corners, going up ramps, and upon landing, using it so as not to lose a bunch of speed. Always use shockwave after you wreck or get knocked down if you can, and it's also useful for wall riding, more on that later, and it can be used as a weapon and shield for knockdowns in multiplayer. Now let's talk about how to use ramps. Now, one thing I want to point out is that 360 should really only be used on ramps, because when done on the ground, 360 just slow you down, and when done in multiplayer to knock down an opponent, that's considered dirty by most players, including myself, under most circumstances. The most common way to take ramps is 360ing up them by double tapping brake and then double tapping to get the orange nitro in the air. You can also go straight up them, either with shockwave or orange nitro, and that is technically faster than 360ing, but it should only be done in cars with good nitro efficiency, or you won't be able to get up to speed. You can also force barrel roll off the sides of ramps like that one there, and also this one on Himalayas, but these are often risky. If you have a full nitro bar before a ramp, you can 360 up it and then shockwave in the air, giving you better airspeed for lower nitro efficiency cars. And now let's move on to curved ramps, which serve only one real purpose in this game, for you to do barrel rolls on. Barrel rolls are one of the best ways in the game to pick up and maintain speed. When you have nitro, just go straight up them, usually aiming a bit above the center, and if you get many in a row, you can get quite a good momentum going and very good airspeed, because when you're in the air, you can get up to a 33% increase above your normal maximum speed. Always go up curved ramps with shockwave if you can, but if you do not have enough nitro for that, going up with double tap nitro will work perfectly fine. However, you do not want to go up with just single nitro or perfect nitro. If you reach your maximum speed in the air, brake and then resume nitro upon landing to save some nitro. Next, we are going to talk about how to take turns. There are three main ways to do this: by drifting and then using nitro to boost out up to your top speed, by just using nitro to get around corners, and by wall riding. Probably the most common method is by going up to a turn, drifting through it to get a full nitro bar, and then shock waving out of it. This is often the safest way to take corners, and on tracks like the Caribbean, which have long sections that are very twisty, it is often the only way to get around some turns. This should pretty much be done on any turn that is so sharp that you cannot get around it by just using blue nitro. nitro. It is also the best way to get around the 360-degree gyro turn. In most cars, you just drift around and then shockwave at the end. However, in some slower cars, it might be best to shockwave in the middle, then resume drifting, and then still shockwave at the end. Now, what if there is just a very slight curve? Sometimes you can take these without nitro, however, usually you should try to get through them with single nitro. But if the turn is so sharp that single nitro causes you to lose a lot of speed, or there is terrain here such as grass, you'll want to use perfect nitro. You can still handle the car nearly as well as if you were using single nitro, and it allows you to keep speed a lot better. Of course, it does run out faster than single nitro. If you're in a car with good handling, such as the Corvette, there may be some turns that you can take with single nitro, such as this one here, that in other cars you might need perfect nitro to keep speed with. You could see I used a bit of orange nitro there to get over the sidewalk. Well, that is mainly when you should use it around turns, when there is a slight bit of uneven terrain that you don't really want to go into perfect nitro just for that. And of course, shockwave allows you to keep the very best speed around corners. However, you have to keep in mind it does make the car handle worse, so you can't turn as well with this. Now for wall riding. Occasionally you can do this without nitro, as you can see there, but usually it should be done with shockwave or perfect nitro so as to keep speed, especially if there is a sidewalk on the side like here. And as always, if you shockwave up to your top speed, brake and go down to a single or perfect nitro to conserve it. Wall riding can be used in conjunction with the brake trick, the first of our advanced techniques. This involves repeatedly pressing brake while going straight, and it builds up nitro without losing speed. This is extremely useful if you need to get some quick nitro before a ramp. It can be done either while wall riding or just by going straight, but you need to be careful not to be turning at the time, because then you will lose speed. Not only should you use it before ramps, but also before any sort of uneven terrain that you might otherwise lose speed going over. If your car has below average nitro efficiency, this is a good thing to get used to doing on straightaways. However, there is something else you can do to conserve nitro. It is by doing the brake-nitro trick. Basically, whenever you are in single nitro, you can brake, then quickly fire nitro again, then brake, then quickly fire nitro again, and keep doing this as many times as you want. It basically extends the duration of your nitro while maintaining the same speed. This trick can also be used directly after landing from a jump because it allows you to maintain more speed after landing. Once you get good at doing this, you can do it many times in successive jumps in order to maintain better speed throughout, well, basically the entire thing. That is what I am doing right here. There is a third technique that is not used as often as those other two, but it can still be useful in some cases, particularly at the beginning of downtown rise, this specific variant of San Francisco. It is basically where you just drift back and forth very quickly, and it allows you to build up nitro just as fast as if you were drifting around a corner. Now keep in mind, this does slow you down, so the brake trick is usually better. Now onto our specific speed tricks. There is one on Nile River where if you hit this guardrail, you can go into the air for a speed boost. On the cave, you can go over to the left when entering, right along the wall for a very long speed boost. On City by the Bay, you can fall off this ledge, go up this ramp, get a huge amount of airspeed, then go straight up here as well, and basically just keep higher speed throughout this entire section. And this next trick is on a version of the Himalayas, which I do not know the exact name of at the moment. This was performed by Phoenix Ayush, and while you probably will not get this barrel roll, it gives you a huge speed boost regardless, and some people have even been able to ride on the guardrails on this map for an even more extended speed boost. Now let's take all of that information and put it to use in a full race, because making a great lap involves taking all of these things into account. Here I use double tap nitro at the beginning in order to knock down the car and speed up faster, then I use the brake trick to get more nitro before this jump, so I can then go off and get a better speed on the barrel roll. I use the brake-nitro trick upon landing to maintain some speed, and also to keep enough nitro through here to shockwave off and then land on the rail to do this speed trick. Then go up this barrel roll here to get even more of a speed boost. On Nile River, it's actually faster in slower cars to go through the pyramid. This is also something else you have to keep in mind. While there are some routes that are better in some sorts of cars, there are other routes that are better in other sorts, so you may have to experiment with those. I used perfect nitro to get through the pyramid without losing speed, then I used double tap nitro to accelerate up these ramps, and finally shockwave nitro to get the best possible acceleration up through here. I brake to conserve nitro, then shockwave again, then use the brake trick a little bit, then shockwave again to get the best acceleration up this ramp. Then I use the brake nitro trick upon landing, and because my car has good acceleration, I can get around this corner using just single nitro. Using the brake nitro trick to extend it a bit so that I can double tap up this ramp and then shockwave upon landing, do the brake nitro trick again, and then finally start drifting around the final turn. Because my car has good handling and high speed around the turn already, I decide not to shockwave in the middle, then shockwave at the end to get up to speed, brake, and then use the brake nitro trick to keep nitro to the very end. So you see, it takes takes a lot of little parts to make a good run. Asphalt9.info was a very helpful site for me to make this, and thank you to Afik and other community members for finding out some of these tricks. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video and perhaps learned something from it. Leave a comment about what was your favorite or what was maybe the most interesting part of it for you. And I really do believe putting into practice the tips and tricks in this video will make you a more successful racer. Consider subscribing for more informative Asphalt 9 and Forza content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!